Hello, everybody. Welcome to I Stay Hawaii. Guess what? Madam Pele is erupting. She has awoken from her slumber, and she is back. It is January 15th, 2025. Look at that beauty. Look at her. She's just going. My God, the beauty. Look at that lava flowing. Oh, it's just gorgeous. We're just going to take a moment and just enjoy the beauty and majesty of her eruption. All right, we get one. Who is Pele? She's the Hawaiian goddess of the fire and volcanoes. She's the creator of all the Hawaiian islands. And we believe that Pele lives in Kilauea, in Halemaumau. She's also known as Pele Honuamea, which means she who shapes the sacred land, the Aina. Yeah, and Kilauea is the most active volcano in the world. It is on the Big Island, the island of Hawaii. My God, it's so beautiful. Look at that. Look at how gorgeous. We've been waiting. It was erupting for a few days last month in December. And she's back at it again, making more Aina. I'm so glad everybody could join me on this live stream. And they say that Madame Pele can show up as a young girl, a beautiful young girl, or an old woman. And that if you see her on the side of the road, then you should stop and pick her up. Or at least ask if she needs a ride or needs any help. Because if you don't, you may have some trouble by not stopping to pick her up or help her. That's the thing. Because some people have picked up an old Hawaiian woman. It's late at night. They stopped and they were like, "Oh, auntie, you need a ride." And she said, "Oh, okay." And she gets in and it's really quiet. And they're just driving. And then she'll say, "Oh, do you have any cigarettes? Do you have a smoke?" And hopefully that you do. The brother was like, "Yeah, auntie, I have. Here you go." And so she puts a cigarette in her mouth. And he's like, "Oh, auntie, I can light them for you." She's like, "No worries." And she puts her hand up and she lights the cigarette with her finger. She takes a few puffs and the guy's kind of freaking out. He kind of looks at her, puts his eyes on back on the road, and next thing you know, she's gone. Nuts, bruh. And I actually had a story myself that on a night where it's about 2:30 in the morning, we had a fun time out in Honolulu, and then boom, we see this old woman in the kappa cloth, just hanging out, walking, looking and pointing at everybody. And we stopped. It was like, "Oh, but we gotta stop. We gotta see if auntie needs help, if she needs a ride." And we asked her for a ride. And she's like, "Oh, that's okay. It's okay." And then as we drove away, we said, "You sure, auntie?" Then as we drove away, she just vanished. What? That was nuts. So you never know when you're out there. The right thing to do is, if you have an elderly woman that you see on the side of the road, maybe you should ask to pick them up. And they also say that she's a young woman, beautiful, black hair, and that you should pick her up. If not, there's a few stories where some brothers never do what they were supposed to do and pick her up. And then all of a sudden, The car starts to speed up. They're trying to hit the brakes. And it keeps going through the red light. And they're just trying to keep control of the car. And then they were like, to say sorry, kalamai, kalamai. And then all of a sudden, he starts to get control of the car and be able to slow the car down. Unreal, bro. So unreal. I don't know. These things happen in Hawaii. It's a space, special, sacred place. You know, you never know what's gonna happen, bro. Just like how you cannot take the lava rocks or any other rocks. Because like even at the volcano house, everybody there's like tons of packages with people returning the lava rocks because like bad stuff happened, like the Brady Bunch, where just you get sick, you hurt your leg, I don't know, all kind of accidents gonna happen. But there's like thousands that they return yearly at the volcano house in Kilauea on Big Island. So unreal, bro. Just some of the stories, but look at it go. Look at that lava. That's like 30, 40 feet or something. It's unreal. I mean, this is creation in action live. It's just growing larger, the Big Island. Or maybe another island. She created all the islands. Each hot spot, as she grew each island that she moved down and created a new home for herself. So unreal. Look how gorgeous. I mean, look at the flow. Look at that flow. I mean, that whole crater is so huge that it just fills up with lava. I mean, I walked on that crater and it's like solid. You can smell the sulfur. And then you're wondering, like, is it going to erupt now while we're here? And then all of that solid rock just turns to magma and the lava is just flowing. Oh, look at that. Look at that spouting out. Look at that spouting out there. That's beautiful. I mean, it's just going. It was going since 9 a.m. this morning, Hawaii time. Look at that beauty. Wow. Wish we could be there live, but we're here live watching it in our safety of our home, in our safety of our hale. Look at that, look at that, look at it go. Look at it. Oh. Imagine that. That's going like what? 40, 50 feet in the air? I mean, it's going. You get that plumes of smoke there. And I wonder if this eruption, like, how much is it going to try to make it to the ocean? Is it going to just stay in the crater? You gotta love it. It's unreal. Well, Madam Pele is not stopping, but we're going to say mahalo for joining me and watching a little bit of Madam Pele and her flow. She is awoken. She's back. And we're going to see. We do another live stream and see if she's still going and erupting. I just want to say mahalo. Thank you for I Stay Hawaii. And we see you on the next time. Mahalo.